Hey folks, good evening from sunny Las Vegas. We are here at 6:50-ish on a Monday evening, approaching Charleston Boulevard from the north on Hollywood Boulevard. We're going to make a right and we're going to go down Nellis, go down to Nellis. Try and keep the sun out of the view here, because the sun is indeed setting in the west, on the west side of town. This is again the eastern end of Charleston Boulevard. An earlier video showed you for the what the view was like of the city from the eastern terminus way up there. Little Tesla playing chicken in front of me. You can see the haze. The air quality here tends to be not so good, but we do smog our vehicles, which has to help because the winds don't blow over the border from California, where the smog is even worse. That had to be a legal right turn across 3 lanes. Approaching the light at Tree Line. Tree Line kind of meanders up towards, or down towards Sahara, south of here. Very residential. We have an Albertsons coming up here on the left, an Albertsons shopping center, I should say. And this is going to be Sloan. Sloan is broken in between various parts of the east side and the thoroughfares on the east side. You can see, for instance, it ends here at Charleston, but then it picks back up north of Stewart, which is about a mile, 3/4 of a mile north of here. Certainly not a major thoroughfare that you can rely on, though, to take you from the south to the north or vice versa. Now we're approaching Christie Lane. Christie is it's an older neighborhood. Some might say dated. I would just call it older. No HOAs on Christie. So you got folks painting their houses pretty much whatever they want. Parking on the street, which is fine, but should you park your disabled vehicle out there, that's not very pretty to look at day after day. It sounds like there's a Corvette up here that is attempting to race or something. Oh, he appears to be racing a Camaro, an older Camaro. We're going to make the right here at Nellis, so that we can go back up to Lake Mead. Looks like they're together because they're turning together. I'm sorry, it was a Mustang, not a Camaro. This 7-Eleven, for instance, used to have gas pumps, but for some reason they removed them. They've been doing that a lot here on the east side of Las Vegas. Might be that one person or entity owns all of these pumps, all of these 7-Elevens, and so they don't want to create extra competition and have extra cost. So they just have folks go and get their gas from the one location that they do have, which is up off of Bonanza and Nellis, which we'll be passing here momentarily. Shopping center over here on the left includes a Target and a Kohl's. On the right side there, you've got a PetSmart. There's a regular Walmart in there. It's not a neighborhood market, but it's not grown up enough to be a Walmart supercenter, so it's just kind of in between. Kind of the old school Walmart. A lot of pedestrians here on the right side of town, if looking at it from the south, so we're going to go ahead and let them do their thing. This gentleman here is taking his time. It is, of course, illegal in Nevada, as it is, I'm sure, in nearly every other state, to cross into the crosswalk when there is a pedestrian in there. So we do not break the law here on the Vegas Don channel. There's the lone Olive Garden that we have here on this side of town. We don't have a whole lot of fine dining choices, or at least sit-down dining choices here on the east side. What we do have are a lot of liquor stores and check-cashing centers, money trees, and things like this, pawn shops. There's the Walmart I mentioned, not the full-fledgling super center. Pool store there on the right. There's actually a Chuck E. Cheese's here in this shopping center on the right side. See it over there. During the pandemic, they were actually selling pizzas, their pizzas, for $5 because there was no dine-in, of course. So they were just doing pickups for $5. Wingstop there on the right. It's not really a sit-down restaurant, though. It's more of a pick-up and go. A Smith's supermarket here on the right side. Smith's is kind of like an Albertsons grade type of supermarket, in my humble opinion. You have PT's over here on the left. It's you got all these gambling halls here in Las Vegas. You know, sports bars that essentially become gambling halls because the companies that have the video game or video poker machines, etc., will pay a certain rental fee to these establishments, and the establishments defray their costs by having these video poker machines, etc. in them. There is the aforementioned 7-Eleven gas station, one of the only ones over here. There's another one over on Lamb in Charleston as well, but again, it's not the best neighborhood. So there's a Marketon supermarket, and then more ads for junk for cars, or cash for junk. Nellis Boulevard by no means is anything like on the west side of town, say Hualapai or Fort Apache, or even Buffalo for that matter. Approaching the light here at Washington. We did just pass Bonanza. That's where that 7-Eleven with the gas station was. Take 5 oil change here on the right. They don't look very busy. There's a Buck's Tavern there on the right. Not very many windows on Buck's Tavern. But I've seen online food 24 hours, so if they're open 24 hours, they tend to be a gambling establishment, typically with video poker. No table games or anything of that sort. And there is Buck's Tavern. A pretty windowless building. They just redid this area, this stretch of Nellis, as a matter of fact, I want to say within the last year or two, certainly since the pandemic. And they did, it's repaved, and it's a lot smoother than it used to be, a lot more potholes, but you can see on the medians there, they don't have any adornments or decorations or anything of that sort. Now passing Owens. Owens is again another major east-west, becomes Vegas Drive on the west side of town. But you can again see the difference between how Vegas treats the east side versus the west side. Not that I'm positing any type of opinion. It just looks nicer on the west side. Now we're approaching Lake Mead. This is, of course, Lake Mead Boulevard, not to be confused with Lake Mead Parkway, which is on the south side of town. southeastern part of town, actually, where the 215 ends at its terminus with US Highway 95. Now, this road tends to be not in the best shape, simply because there tend to be a lot of heavy trucks that travel it. So the video might get a little rocky as a result. I'll try my best to keep it stabilized. Keep maneuvering the arm here attached to the windshield. You can see here on the east side of town, some of these homes actually encroach up here on the foothills of what are over there, Sunrise and Frenchman's Mountain. Some nicer areas, certainly newer, tend to be gated communities up there. That was Christie Lane that we just passed. We passed that, of course, on the way over to Nellis. This gentleman is hauling a whole bunch of boxes that say Clorox and Dell on them. Assuming he's a gentleman, I don't know if he is or not. A lot of people like to go up to Frenchman's. The last Hangover movie, in fact, this is the road where they were coming into town, back into Las Vegas, up near the top, where you can see the pass up there in between the mountains, just ahead of us. This is Sloan Lane, so yeah, they came in on that pass, and that's an elevated pass. So at night it's especially beautiful because you have all the shining, sparkling city lights, and that's very nice to look at. There's another PT's. They're on the right. They tend to be all over town. Here on the left, you can see some very older neighborhoods. Look to be trailer parks right here. Nellis Air Force Base is over here to our left, probably about 2 or 3 miles to the north of us. This is Mount Hood Street, an aptly named conduit of travel. Here on the east side, this individual is stopping because the light decided it wasn't going to be green any longer. That was a very interesting light cycle. We do get a lot of those here on the east side. Well, pretty much in Vegas. You have a Timbers up there on the left, food and gaming. They're also open 24 hours. They have the video gaming as well. Food, spirits, and gaming. And then we're coming back up to the light here at Hollywood Boulevard. We're going to turn into this Walmart neighborhood market here. Have to pick up some bread and some bananas. We'll just show you the parking lot here at the Walmart neighborhood market. There's not a whole lot of adherence to the laws of the road, the rules of the road here. So running stop signs and cutting people off tends to be par for the course. And there's a new car wash that just opened up here across the street called Wow. And we're going to go ahead and stop the video here at this point. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you again next video. Thanks.